Hi, welcome to What's New Mama podcast. I'm Giselle and that's Amy.
Hi.
So, hey, a little unconventional episode right now because I have a change of scenery. I am on the floor and you see my couch in background over here. So jumping in, how's the week? The week was great, right? It was freezing cold,
Yeah.
negative degree cold weather.
Mm-hmm.
As us New Yorkers say, it was brick as cold. So cold that the water heater blew up because the water froze inside of it, and then it expanded and just, blew up, caused a cascade of water to go into my living room and my kitchen. And so hence I'm on the floor because we need to do some remodeling right now. But, the podcast must go on.
Yeah, we were recording when this happened yesterday. So I was on the video call going, oh my God. All I heard was when it came in. I was like, no, yeah, it didn't sound right. I was like, oh, okay. Well, because you had already heard a trickle. And I was like, okay, that's not too bad. And then it just escalated from there.
It went from 0 to 100 real quick. Like water coming from the what you would call it, the fire alarm.
Oh yeah, that was really bad. No.
Freaking sprinklers, but not the sprinklers that were going off. It was just going through the sprinkler because it was a lady upstairs from us that her thing blew up. But anyway, we're here. Everybody's alive and well, and that's all we can hope for. And Amy's like, "What's going on? You're too calm for all this chaos to be happening." It's not the Benadryl this time. I was telling Amy, I was like, I think that after having a baby, I still have anxiety, I still have stress, and obviously your stress level goes way up. But I think my tolerance for it and how I deal with it has changed because I feel like I can't panic and freak out as I used to because I need to remain calm for Derek. Like he can't see me freaking out like that. He's going to absorb that anxiety and stress. Mm-hmm. And with every study that we've seen, we all know that eventually that I guess like goes in to like their mindset and like they absorb that energy and all that stuff. And I don't want to add to it.
Yeah.
Life is already, he'll get that stress and anxiety on his own later on.
I hope not.
I hope not, but
yeah.
If he lives a life worth living, he's going to come across moments of stress and anxiety and he'll get through it fine because it's just life. And we're going to, the goal is to teach them to be able to handle these things without
freaking out,
shutting down and, all that stuff. So I have to model that behavior.
That's good. So, I would not be so chill. So,
well, after that happened, you saw the picture of me at Target.
Yeah.
I was like,
some retail therapy. Yes.
Yeah.
That always works.
Snacks for the baby and things that we needed, but it felt good to just get out the house and while the firefighters did their thing.
I just can't believe the firefighters showed up. Insane.
Yeah. And then the city councilman called me to make sure that everybody was okay and that they had an electrician come out because the water was coming out of the electrical sockets.
Yeah, like that's no good.
It was like, I'm laughing about it, but it's clearly a serious situation.
I was telling you, I was like, turn everything off, unplug everything. Because
it was 911 told me to not touch anything because they didn't want me to get electrocuted.
Yeah.
But, obviously the mic is okay. The laptop is okay.
Oh my God.
Again, this is life and I can't. I've been through worse, a little bit of water. And at least my hair wasn't done. So my hair didn't get messed up because I had my hair like this. And that was another thing because then I would have been really upset. If I would have spent 3 hours straightening my hair and then
it looks great like that though. I love your hair like that.
Thank you. It was definitely a shock for my boss. Like she is, Caucasian, blonde, blue-eyed, and like I remember we were at a team meeting and I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna wear my hair like this. And it was a video call and it was a couple of us and I remember like she did like a double look.
Like, who is that?
Yeah. And then one of my other coworkers was, is that Giselle? And I was like, yeah, guys, hi. This is what my hair looks like naturally when I'm not manipulating it into a bun or anything like that. It's not a wig. See, it's not a wig. It's my hair,
Mm.
which is another comment that I usually get. Like,
Oh
are you
my
wearing? Is
God.
it your hair? It's funny because I saw You People. Have you seen the
No,
advertisement?
no, I haven't seen it. No.
With Jonah Hill.
Mm-mm.
It's so fun. It's like cringe funny.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
So
like,
I don't like cringe funny.
I love cringe funny. Like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, she's
Mm-hmm.
in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's like the queen of cringe funny.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so, and Eddie Murphy was amazing. Jonah Hill. I mean, Lauren London. I didn't know she was an actress.
Mm-hmm.
She's a really good actress.
Yeah,
But
she is
so
an
many
actress.
moments.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. So many moments in that movie. I was just like, oh my God, that's so funny. And like, when she was talking about like how people would, well, specifically Jonah Hill's mom was like with her hair
Okay.
and all that stuff. She felt like, you know, like I'm a person, like I'm not just my hair or whatever. It was just like, I've had moments like that. Like it was a cute movie. I recommend it if you're into that cringe, funny. It was the unconventional rom-com
Oh, okay.
kind of, and I'm all about rom-coms, as you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, recommend it. It was a cute movie.
Well, I guess maybe I'll give it a try then. I'll try to watch it then because I don't know. I don't do cringe. It's I don't know. It's just that.
But it was also one of those things that it was like they were talking about real issues, right? Like because he's white, she's black, and interracial relationship, and just kind of how it can affect the couple themselves, even though they're okay with everything, but the outside people that surround them, how that can contribute to the relationship having their issues and things like that. Which, and you know,
that's
outside
cool.
factors. Yeah, but anyway, how was your week?
Good. I mean, other than being cold, the only thing that comes to mind is that. So I have another story about my neighbor.
Oh,
no, I mean, so the bus stops in the corner, like literally like 10 feet from her driveway, not even that much. Tell me why she's sitting in her car with her kids waiting for the bus. Meanwhile, I'm the dumbass walking down the street with my 2 kids, bundled up all the way, covering our faces just to get to the bus stop. I mean, I time it so we're not standing there, but I'm like, I know she's not in her car. Bro.
But it was cold though. It was really cold.
But if I could show you from where the bus stops and where her house is, there's no way. I was like, really?
Is it from like where you are right now to your window?
Yeah. Seriously? And I was just like, whatever. Whatever.
Yeah. It is what it is, right?
And that was my week for you.
Okay. It wasn't as bad as flooding in your house.
No.
But okay, cool. So this week we debated a few different topics, but I think one of the ones that we always come down to is the balancing act of motherhood or parenthood, whatever. But you know, with us, we're talking about ourselves, so motherhood and being still an individual. So being Mama Llama, because that's what Tom calls me now, especially in my hair. Mama Llama.
I love that.
Giselle. And individual Giselle, right? And, you know, Amy as the mother and individual Amy. Like, who are you as a person? And I think we're constantly going back and forth because obviously they intertwine. You can't be one without the other.
Yeah.
But how do we juggle both of them? How do we take those moments to still be me and not the mother version of me, even though my mind is always thinking like, oh my God, I have to prep food. I have to do that. Do I have the diapers? Did I pick that up from Target? Like, there's a whole back and forth, which it's a lot. Do you want to start off or do you want me to start off?
I'm like thinking about how do I keep myself as myself, the individual? Because I have a hard time separating because I'm obviously home all the time, 24/7 with the kids. It's like I rarely get that break. And when I do get that break, I'm still thinking about doing stuff. So it's like,
you can't turn it off.
I went out with my sister, maybe was it last summer? And this sounds so bad because it's like she does live nearby, but me and her don't hang out individually away from my kids, which is probably something I need to work on because it's terrible. So last summer we went out and it's just like we're eating, we're having fun or whatever, but I'm still in the back. I can't relax. I'm still like,
you're like,
kids,
what are they doing?
What are they doing? Like, I'll text Victor and I'm like, hey, how are the kids? And he's just like, shut up. Like,
enjoy yourself.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I have it. And it's like, it's not that I don't trust him or whatever, but it's just like, they're still in the back of my mind, you know? So I'm having a really hard time trying to find that to like let go and just go do my own thing and enjoy the time by myself to try to find myself again, because I don't know, it's just constantly running in the back of my head. And then I also had a conversation with my older sister, like last week when I went to go see her. I was like, you know, she has like such a good sense of style. And like for me, like Amy loves fashion. I'm like obsessed with fashion, makeup, all that stuff. And it's like, I haven't been able to go back to dressing up, you know, doing things that I like to wear and just buy stuff and
heels, the tight dresses and all that.
But not even the heels, just like I love shoes. I have so many shoes in my closet. I don't find that joy to wear all those things again, or I haven't been able to find my sense of style now because I find myself doing like sweatshirts or like tights and leggings.
Conventional things that's going to allow you to do your job every day.
Yeah. So it's like I feel like I don't want to dress that way. I want to like I want to bring back my own fashion sense. I want to bring it all back in there because I feel like that's innate to me, because that's who I was before my kids. I used to love dressing up. I used to like wearing nice things and, you know, wear makeup. I was like obsessed with like YouTubers and doing new things. But I find myself not doing any of that. And that's a really bad shame on me for not trying to do those things. The only thing that I find joy in now is knitting. And it sounds like such an old lady thing to say.
I wish I knew how to knit.
I taught myself over the pandemic. So, you know, I'm doing stuff. I don't know if you could see in the back, but I have like a sweater in the back, like laid out where I'm working on making a sweater for my sister.
Really cool.
But that's the only thing I've been able to find some type of joy in, that I'll be able to sit and do for a little bit, for maybe like an hour away from the kids. But it's really hard. And then just trying to find that me time,
I know,
which is important
because it's you're not going to ever be that old version of yourself. You got to find the new version of yourself, and
kind of like make time within the time that I have with them to find myself. I don't know. It's been very, very hard for me with the two kids, because it's like in the morning, I'm all morning with Milo. I have to pay attention to him now because he's getting into things where he opened my bottle of shampoo and threw it on himself.
Oh my God.
I have to be following him constantly because I didn't even know he could open a jar that big to begin with.
You're like, you know how to twist this?
Yeah, it's like a big jar. And he was just like, oh, mommy. I was like, oh, nice. You're all like, you smell like shampoo now. Thanks. So it's like I have to be constantly behind him. And then when Sienna comes back home, I have to make sure she's doing her work and all that. So it's like, where do I find the time for myself?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm having the most difficulty. And this is probably why I stay up at night watching TV or doing something for like 2, 3, 4 hours, maybe even up to like 2 a.m. So it's like, I'm finding it hard to find that individual time for myself, even to get away from them. It's not like, you know, it's not like I don't want to.
It's just difficult.
Yeah,
it's difficult to balance
so
especially because they're always there.
Yeah.
Like, and then you feel guilty if you do pull away for a moment. But I think, and I want to know how you feel about this, because doing this podcast, I think, is me fulfilling and feeding that individual part of myself that I need my me time. And I feel like doing this podcast helps contribute to that. Does that do it for you? Because this is moments for you where you're not mom, you're still mom Amy. You're always going to be mom Amy. I'm always going to be mom
right now. I can hear them.
Yeah. I have the monitor right now. So if you see me looking at the side, it's because I'm making sure he's okay. So it doesn't stop, but you're having an adult conversation with another human being that's a mom that you can talk to, but you're also gathering your thoughts about things that you're like, oh wait, oh yeah, like I didn't even realize that.
It's happening for me like that too. Yeah.
So do you think that this is one of those things, aside from your knitting, that you've kind of taken on right now?
Yeah, no, it's definitely helping just to talk about these topics with you and just have a conversation with someone else other than my 2-year-old. It's definitely helping me. Yeah. The time is good. The time is good. Definitely good. And it's helping me get to know you too as a person.
Yeah.
Because it's funny because you and I, we would run into each other at just family things. And it was like, hey, how are you? And that's it. Yeah. We never really got into depth conversations. So this is good. And this is nice. Yeah. I'm like, I know, I tell Vic, I'm like, how does it feel that your sister is slowly becoming like one of my really good friends?
Yeah. Or I talk to you more than I do.
Exactly. Yeah.
I find out what's going on with my own brother through you.
Yeah. Yeah. But he's always been very reserved. I feel like he doesn't tell people his business. And I'm also kind of the same way. So it's kind of weird for me even sitting here and talking about things because I'm like, ooh, I don't want to give away too much because it's like, I'm like, that's my business and his business. It's like, it's a couple thing. I don't want everyone to be like, well, so-and-so said this, and then he hears it or, because he's not watching this because he's like, oh my God, no, I don't want to watch that. He's like me.
But also, I mean, I do this with Tom. I think that we talked about this before, and I know you do this with Vic. Like, I tell him beforehand, like, these are the topics. Even before, when I pitched the idea to you, I was like, hey, like, I'm going to be talking about our personal things. Like, are you going to be comfortable with that? And obviously, there are certain details that are for you and for your, you guys as a couple and all stuff that we're not going to share here because that's just what it is. We have to set boundaries. Do you tell before, like Vic, do you tell him like, okay, this week's episode is going to be blah, blah, blah?
No, because it's funny that you say that. I tell him after the fact. Usually, like we'll record it and I'll be like, oh, I said this. And he'd be like, whatever. But I don't really sit with him to talk about it because usually his time is more limited than mine because he's just like, he'll come in and then the scheduling, we see each other for maybe an hour at night. So it's like, he's always with the kids whenever he can. He tries to take them off my hands for a little bit. So I always let him enjoy that. Unless I hear him screaming or I don't hear them.
If you don't hear them, this too quiet.
When I don't hear them, I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? It's too quiet.
Are they alive? What's going on? So and I know you started reading.
I started reading. I was reading the book about Prince Harry. I know. I'm like, I love all that like gossip stuff and things that I can get my hands on that I can read about other people. Yeah, I love that stuff.
What is it called?
Spare. Yeah. I've actually made it halfway. Yes.
You're halfway.
I'm halfway through the book already. It's really good. He talks about his experiences, being obviously a prince and all the stuff that they did. Yeah. At the palace and stuff. It's interesting. I don't know if you like that stuff. Yeah, it's a good read. Okay. Yeah, and then the other one I haven't even looked at the other book, so it's there, but I haven't even touched it. Yeah.
Question: pre-baby, were you the type of person that would read multiple books at the same time, or would you just stick with one?
No, I could read multiple books at the same time, and then I tell Victor about them. Like I'll sit there and I'll tell him the whole story about what happened, and he's like, "Oh, okay, so now I don't have to read the book."
So, do you prefer fiction, nonfiction, biographical, like this? Like this is nonfiction.
I read a lot of fiction, and maybe some ladies out there will laugh at me, but I also read a lot of like romantic, raunchy stuff. I like what is it? What do they call it?
Like Fabio was on the cover.
Oh my God, like no, those are too much. What is it? Oh my God, there's like a whole spicy TikTok, a spicy book TikTok is what I am on. So I get like recommendations and look at them first. Like I'll read what they're about first before I actually read them. Okay. Yeah, I like those books, and fiction is always good. I
like Game of Thrones. Were you into those?
No,
or like Lord of the Rings?
No, actually,
Harry Potter?
Harry Potter, yes.
Okay.
Harry Potter I've read. But it's rare that I read nonfiction. I'm surprised I'm reading the Prince Harry book.
That's because you're they caught you, like they got your attention with the media and stuff. So you knew a little bit enough to say, I think I could follow through with this book. Probably.
Yeah. Just morbid curiosity is what it is for me. Gotcha. So that's what got me to read the book. Otherwise, I don't read nonfiction. No. What about you?
Reading?
Yeah. Do you read at all, like anything? Well, before or after baby?
Oh, before I loved reading, but I would read nonfiction. I would read more of And I would read things like I hate the fact that they're kind of like considered self-help, but they're not. Like they are, but they're not. Like the 4 love languages. I would also read like it's gonna be so funny. So I buy biographies and
Okay.
autobiographies. So like I think the last one I read was Giselle Bundchen's. I think it was called True. I forgot what it was called, but I was like really into it. And Tom made fun of me the whole entire time. He's like, "You're still reading that crap?" And I was like, "He's like, why do you care about these people's lives?" I was like, "It's not their lives per se. It's just they have something that they're sharing
Yeah.
that I'm into." Like she's all about health and fitness, yoga. Also, her talking about anxiety and going through things. Her relationship, well, you know, heartthrob Leonardo DiCaprio. She mentioned that a little bit. See, like you hear the kids in the background.
Oh,
We
yeah.
can't
No,
turn
they're
this
like,
off, you know? We can't turn
it's
it
not
off.
like a herd of rhinos downstairs.
I can't turn this off. I gotta keep watching them. Tom is right now washing the car, so he couldn't cover the baby right now. But he's good. So yeah, like that was one of the last books I read. I have a couple of books. There was another I can't even remember them. That's the problem. I know I read a ton of books and I can't even remember them. I was really big into philosophy. That was my major. So human like ethics, morality, things like that. Those were all books that I cared about. And just like critical thinking type of books where it's like question things. Like I'm not going to sound like a crazy person, but I'm still not going to take things as face value. I'm still going to critically analyze. And books that were very big on, you know, it's not just the outside world and outside factors. Take a look inside and see how you yourself are contributing or you yourself are getting in your own way. Self-sabotaging, like all of those books, like looking inward. What was another one? Oh, Malcolm Gladwell is another really good, another author that I really like. And there's another one that I love and I just can't, I see his face, but I can't think of the name. He co-wrote the book with, this is going to go into a ramble. The book is called Lean In, and she was the CFO, CEO, or whatever of Facebook. You know what I'm
I know
talking
who you're talking about, but I can't think of the name.
So he wrote the book with her, like he did the forward. Forget it. He's like an organizational psychologist, which is one of the majors that I considered that I still want to kind of dive into, to be honest. So I follow him closely. He basically talks about human nature and treating your employees as people and not just a number. Yeah. When you put that value into your company, your employees, your system, and everything that you do and the people that you interact with, you're going to go a much farther way because you're going to build that community that's going to make sure that we all succeed. And I'm really big into that. Like I tried reading 48 Laws of Power, not a fan because it's a lot of manipulation tactics, a lot of like power, like struggles and things like that, which is cool if you're into that. Wasn't for me. I tried it and I was like, I can't finish this. There was another one. I think it was Malcolm Gladwell. It's like 10,000 hours. Have you heard of that one? So it's like, it goes based on the fact that like, if anything to be really good at, right? Like if you want to play the piano, learn how to do certain things, like these people, if they talk about certain people and like, and on average, it's like 10,000 hours to be invested into that skill or that thing that you want. And I'm cheapening it with that explanation, but it was one of those things that I read early on when I was working on myself in my 20s, my early 20s, where I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, how am I not contributing to myself? And I think jumping back to our topic, it's like the things that we read, the things that we watch, the things that we listen to in music, whatever it is, everything that we're exposed to, it's all formulating us, like how we think about things, how we approach things, who we are as individuals. So I'm really big on being careful what it is that you are allowing into your mind, into your ears, like what you're speaking about. How do you speak about other people? I try that if I don't have anything nice to say about somebody, I won't say it. Because I feel that as human beings, there's so much more negativity out there than there is positivity if you look for it, right? And I don't want to, I don't want to invite any of that stuff in because it's going to slip through cracks anyway, because that's just life, right? And I think that me as an individual, I try really hard that the things that I can invest my time into, whether it's a book or a podcast that I'm watching, listening to, which I'm really big into podcasts, I make sure that it's something that's going to make me feel better as opposed to something that's going to make me, and better in the sense that it can still make me question how I'm analyzing my own life or how I'm behaving in my own life. But I don't need to know about drama, gossip, like in that negative way, right? Like I'm not going to watch, what is it? The Shade Room? I don't know. Whatever it is on like some gossip or drama that's going on with some celebrity in that negative light, right? Some of it's funny, right? I'm not going to deny that. Some of it's really funny. But it's like, I have a limited amount of time. Like we have limited amounts of time as human beings, let alone a mother, a father, you have a full-time job, you're like all these other things, responsibilities, that little moment that you do take for yourself, whether it's 15 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, it's so important because I feel that it's going to nourish you. Right. And so what do you want to be nourished with? Do you want to be nourished with like drama, negativity? Or, you know, it's the same thing like when you eat, right? Like sometimes there's days I was telling you earlier, I was like trying to scarf down eggs because I couldn't eat. Like I was running around all morning with everything going on here. The baby had a doctor appointment, all these things. But I try to make sure that when I do eat, it's something nutritious, something good for me, because I have to make it worthwhile. And I have to make sure that I'm treating myself right. Because when I do eat shitty foods, and this is all part of like me as the individual, I feel really shitty afterwards. Like I feel gross. I feel lethargic. I feel exhausted. And so things that I feel bloated. So those are the little things that I do for myself to like still be an individual. But trust me, that book that I would read normally in like a couple of days on the train ride to work or whatever, which was my time to read, it's going to take me like a month to finish now. Like, that's just what it is. Because it's just, let's be real. Like you have to, if you were to push yourself to finish that sweater or to read that book on the same time frame that you would pre-baby, you're going to stress yourself out and then you're going to be like, fuck this. Like you're like, I can't do this. This is stressing me out more than relaxing me.
And I get bored easily too with the same thing. So,
you know, for me, it's like, I have to balance it out and I have to know what's a realistic timeline. Like I have 3 books right now that I just got, and Tom's like, he's like, that's another book. And he's like,
did you finish
you haven't even finished the other ones? But then it comes down to, because it's been sitting in the Amazon cart for a while, and then we share the account. So he's like, I'm trying to order things, and you have like 50 things in the account.
I have the same problem.
So he's like, are you going to order this or what? And I was like, you know what? Let me just order these books before I forget about them, because that's another thing. I forget about them. And then I'll just put it here, and then I'll forget about them here. Eventually I'll get to them. So little things like that I think are important. And then like this podcast and talking to you, and I reached out to you to do it because I thought we would have good conversations that would make us both feel like this was something good for both of us, and we would take this break, even though it's not really a break, because the whole premise of this whole podcast is motherhood.
We're still talking about it.
You're still talking about it. So it's a balancing act for sure. But little things like self-grooming, like things like that I do. Like I need to go get a wax, or I need to, you know, I'm not really big into doing my nails and things like that unless I have to, like if it's an event.
Look at my chubby nails. All my stuff.
And I cut them. My nails grow really fast, but I cut them all the time. I don't like having long nails. And like I'll occasionally blow out my hair, but it's a commitment because my hair looks really short, but my hair is really long. And I've seen it straight in other episodes, but those little things I'll do if I need a little pick me up, right? Like I feel like doing my hair just to do it. No special event, just to do it. Or go working out. Like for me, working out is like a big one.
I know you're always in the gym. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I'll go walking. I need to take a moment to just listen to my music and zone out. I'm really big into that. Tom knows it. I'm like, give me just like 5 minutes, 15 minutes.
What do you listen to?
All right. So
what are you listening to now?
I listen to the same stuff. It all sounds the same, to be honest. Tom says it's all garbage and it all sounds the same.
But what does he listen to?
What I say is garbage and it all sounds the same. That's what he we just like make fun of each other. But I'm really big into like pop music, but I like like that type of music, not EDM, but I like that type of music. But I'm also like all about John Mayer, or I like Casey Musgraves, country singer. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like her, or I'll listen to Elton John and Backstreet Boys. And think I still listen to old music. Yeah. I'm not really big into the stuff that's out now.
Yeah.
God, I sound so old. Okay, boomer. Like I'm not listening to this crap.
I don't either. I don't either. I find that I listen to like old playlists, like old stuff that I've had in my playlist for a long time. So yeah, I don't.
But I love Dua Lipa.
Yes. Yeah, I like her too.
I love that Elton John, Britney Spears song came out. I just recently got into Bad Bunny because I wasn't into him at first.
I'm not into him at all.
I don't listen to Reggaeton. I don't listen to any of that stuff. But I got into him recently this past summer, and it was because I started running again. So the tempo and all that, it was like getting me going. And when I would go walking with a stroller, it was like perfect tempo, and I was like, oh, I like this. But it was unconventional. Like I was surprised. I was like, I like this. What's wrong? But you know, he's talented. There's a lot of talented people out there that I'll give him credit. I just don't listen to them. Like I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but Beyonce, Alicia Keys, talented individuals, superstars, excellent performers, and I know that. Not my cup of tea, you know. But that's just what it is. Who's the other one? Janae, you know what I'm talking about? She has like short hair.
No.
She's also dabbing into acting right now, but I love her.
Is it Janelle Monáe?
Janelle Monáe. There we go. Yes, her. Estelle. There's a couple of other people like I listen to. But on my playlist right now, I have everything on shuffle all the time. Shakira's new song, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I love a good revenge, like breakup song. Yeah, even though I'm like not in that state of mind, but I'm like, yes. Like when Jennifer Lopez came out with that single last summer. Oh my God, what was it called? But it was clearly about the breakup. Like with Alex Rodriguez and all that stuff.
God, that douche. Sorry.
Yeah, no, nobody liked him here.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I don't remember the song. I don't follow with her like most recent stuff. I don't really follow. The old stuff, yes, but.
Yeah. So when that song came out, I was just like, yes, like give me that revenge breakup. Like you're doing it. You don't need anybody. I love music, like empowering, like independent women type of music, which I know Beyonce has a lot of those. I liked, you know, what's funny? I prefer Destiny's Child over Beyonce.
Yeah.
Again, beautiful, gorgeous, talented performer. Just, you know, not my cup of tea. You know who a lot of people love that I don't? I tried. I really, really tried. Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, I don't listen to her either.
Can't. I tried it. Miley Cyrus has a few that I actually
can't listen to her either.
I still listen to Janet Jackson. Oh my God, Feedback.
Yes,
Feedback. That album. That it doesn't get, you know, like those are the things that I listen to. And like for example, when they were doing my makeup when I was getting ready for my wedding, I was playing Mariah the whole entire time. And
I can't pass this girl. Oh my God, Mariah Carey. I can't do it.
No, you can't do it.
I can't. But I'm all for the people who make fun of her online, but I can't.
She is. Well, I can't say her. Oh, I bought her
talented.
Book, and I read her book.
She was talented at some point, but now it's just
so we're gonna have to fight.
Calm down.
So we're gonna have to fight.
Calm down.
Right? Yeah, no, that was one of the books that I read. Her book.
You just gotta know when to retire. That's all. That's all I gotta say with that one.
All right, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
I know. The thing is, I think they played her so much for like Christmas and stuff. Like with the Christmas, she's become like the Christmas queen. It's kind of like, oh, can we just play something else?
Yeah. No. So those are the little things that I still try and do for myself.
Yeah.
And I can't even shop anymore. I just have too much clothes. Working in retail for over 12 years, you get a lot of shoes, bags, clothes, because you're like, oh, I have an employee discount.
I need to go shopping in your closet then.
You do. Please take it all. Tom will pay for your trip over here, your gas, everything.
I want to talk. I have the guest room closet is completely full of my clothes and shoes. It's like stacks and stuff. And then my closet, there's no room to walk into. It's a walk-in, but there's no room to go anywhere. And it's like, it's funny because I'll wear the same exact thing every day. And what do I do with all this?
Yeah. Occasionally, every once in a while, I'll put it on and I'm like, oh, I should have just put on my workout leggings but I do like putting on I'm a dress person. I'm a dress girl. Like I like putting on some dress. Like I love high heels. I think the joke was that I would all my friends would be like, are you on the treadmill with your heels on?
Oh my God.
And I'm like, shut up. But I love heels. Like everybody, whenever we would have a family event, like I would go to Romel's house, like my brother's house. They'd be like, of course, Giselle's overdressed. And they're like, in like sweats, pajamas, a robe. And I'm like in a dress and heels, full like, I'm like, but that's how I feel good.
Yeah.
Like that's how and I'm not doing it to make anybody else feel bad. I'm doing it for me. I think that's always important. Like be you and not be like, don't feel bad about it. Like don't be embarrassed over it. And I think those are really important things.
I'm still dealing with that because it's like, I told you that I like to put on makeup. Like that's my thing. Yeah. So I like in the morning, that's the first thing that goes on. Like I'll put that on, I'll get dressed, but then it's like, I'll go to like the mom classes or stuff. And it's like, I look around and I'm the only one. Like sometimes I'm the only one. Yeah. And I'm like, God. And then I get like the side eyes and people just looking at me and I can see you because this is a music class and there's a giant mirror and I can see you looking at me through the mirror. Like, what do you think I'm...
I can feel your judgment.
Yeah. And I'm just like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, I can't step out of my house this way because then that's like the whole feeling I'll go with the rest of the day. Like if I'm like wearing like sweats and kind of unkempt, I'll feel like, the rest of the day. Yeah. That's just me. I think if you want to go out in your sweatpants and, that's the way you're comfortable with your child, that's fine. Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and go, well, look at you. That's not, I don't care. But I think that's the biggest problem I have. And that's why I don't make mom friends. That's it. No one approaches me. I think no one makes conversation with me. I find at these classes, I'm usually just sitting there and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. Hi. Like you want to obviously talk to people, but you feel like they don't want, it's like they don't approaching you because they think you're probably standoffish.
I don't know. It's like high school all over again for me sometimes, just trying to make friends with people. And I'm like, I've only like made maybe one or two friends, and one of the other women I've made friends with, she was like, I saw that she's like a hairdresser, so she's into her appearance too. But it was like I don't know, it just clicked. It just worked out, and we've been good friends too. But then another one, it was Sienna was friends with her daughter, so we started talking, and then we became friends. So it's good. That's fine. I have like two moms out there, but anybody else, I'm just like, all right.
Two good moms is worth, a bunch of other like moms that you're gonna be like, are they talking about my back?
Yeah,
so it's all about quality, not quantity.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So, but I understand. Like I would go to a library, right? And I'm always friendly with everybody, and I want I want to make sure that everybody around me feels comfortable. It's not my job to do that, but I just like that because I would never want somebody to feel uncomfortable. So I always try, but I know that there's just some people out there that you could be the nicest person in the world. You're going to rub somebody the wrong way. And I've learned, that was another thing I had to learn. I've learned to be okay with that.
Yeah.
I've learned that not everybody's going to like me. Not everybody's going to be okay with my personality. And that's okay. So like there were some moms at the library where I would go and like, you know, I would see them like looking at me or whatever. And I would go in with my workout. Like I would wear like my leggings and my cut off crop sweatshirts and all that stuff. And like they would go in not looking like that, right? Like not dressed up, but they would like, one of them made a comment. They were like, oh, you always look so like put together. And I would put on makeup because even if my hair was like this, or if my hair was in a bun, or I had my little Yankee hat, I was still looking like I needed to put on my concealer.
Yeah.
I was not going to leave the house without my concealer or mascara. So those are little things that I would do. And, you know, sometimes I would be like, oh, like, do you guys want to go talk? And like, I have snacks here. Like I bring snacks, not just for Derek. I bring snacks for everybody there. And I'd be like, hey, like, if you guys want, cause I would see the kids going for Derek's cracker or whatever it is that he was eating. And so I'm like, all right, next time I'm going to bring some. And I would bring water bottles for the other moms. Like I would get like a case from Costco. And some of them were like, they would give me like that look. And I'm like, okay. I was like, if it's there, if you want it, like, so like, I just learned to be okay with that. But then I got this really good friend. Her name is Lenka. She listens. So hi, Lenka. Love her. We met and like, we just clicked instantly. And she's from, she doesn't have anybody else here. And so just like gravitated towards each other. And another thing that like the other moms were like, oh, they were complaining about the baby weight and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, like I'm struggling. I gained 50 pounds pregnant, 55. I've lost so far like 40 something pounds of what I've gained. So I'm not back to like my pre-baby body weight, whatever, but I've lost the weight or whatever. So I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm still struggling. They're like, no, you're not. And like, they're like, and I'm like, no, I am. Like, I felt really bad and like embarrassed about my body. And like, they're over here like minimizing like my, and then from that moment on, I was like, oh, so these moms aren't like, they're not here to talk to me or to let me vent or whatever. They're gonna, no matter what I say, I'm not gonna be relatable to them. They're not gonna accept me in any way. So it is what it is. But those were moments that I was just like, whatever, I have Linka, that's fine. And then there was like another mom that had moved from New York and all that. And we connected and she was like really, really sweet. And she was debating going back to work or not. So like we had that conversation. But taking those moments to connect with other moms and connect with other people that would probably be in the same boat, those are things also that I did to try and like be me and like feed that side of my life. Yeah. Because I know that in order for me to be the best mom that I could possibly be, I need to be the best version of myself and feed that aspect of my life. Right. And Tom is really big on that because I was like, no, I have to do this. I have to do this. And like, you'll see me running around here, like picking up stuff. And then I see something else that's out of the way. And then I'll start doing that. And then he's like, Giselle, sit down. You're tired. Yeah. Go take a break. Like, go sit down. I'll do that. Yeah. But then I'm like, but you're not going to do it like I want it to be done. You're not going to fold the clothes how I like for you to fold the clothes. You're not going to, you know, but I still appreciate him offering. I still appreciate him doing it. Like, we have that deal where I cook. He does the dishes. I'll clean, I'll vacuum, but he also vacuums. But he's in charge of the bathrooms because I hate cleaning the bathrooms. So we make it work in that sense. So when he does that, then I do other things. Yeah. And I take a moment for myself.
That's good.
And I after having the baby, I got really bad anxiety driving. Like I had like,
I think everybody does. PPA. Everybody does.
Yeah. But now I feel more comfortable again. And so I've been driving everybody again. Does. So I'll go for a drive. The other day I was freaking driving and I told you, I felt like the wind was going to move the car.
It was super windy that day. Yeah, it was super windy that day.
So crazy. But like I went and I, you know, got a facial and I, you know, did stuff for myself. Like that's another thing. Yeah. I'll go get my facial. Yeah. But I'll deposit the same amount of money I spent on that facial into their account. So those are the things that I do, you know, and like even my lunch break for work, I try to make that lunch break time with Derek, time with Tom, time for myself. Because if not, I'll feel so scattered and all over the place that by the time the nighttime comes, I'll feel like my day was a blur. And I feel, even though I did a bunch of things, I feel like I did nothing.
Yeah.
And
I know that feeling.
I can't. And I think that if we let that, like, the problem is that we can't let that feeling, because it'll spiral like a snowball.
Yeah, it does.
And it'll grow and grow and grow. And then before you know it, you're like, oh God, I feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those are the things that if we do take moments to ourselves, like little things, it can prevent that from us.
Yeah, like what you just said, I feel like that was happening to me. Like, it was just like, I was just going through the motions every day or whatever. And at some point I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like, why am I not like, I put some effort into myself a little bit, like I'll make the time now. I'm like, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to do this. And then like, I'll tell Vic, like, hey, I need you to come home at this time. If you're coming home, I'm going to need to do this and this. Like, I have to go wash my hair. I want to straighten it. I want to do something different to it. And I'm like, come. And he'll be like, all right, thanks for letting me know. And he'll make an effort to be here to like, all right, I'll take the kids off your hands for a little bit, or I'll cook. Even though I hate the way brother cooks. Hopefully he doesn't hear this. He's just like, no, if it's not, it has to be like a recipe for him to follow. Because if it's like off the cuff kind of thing, not good.
You can't do it. You don't do recipes, right?
I'm off the cuff.
I can't do recipes. I'll ruin it. Like, I'll be like, un ching aquí, and like I'll eyeball it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. No, I'm really
like Tom's like, show me how to do it. So has Vic ever been like, can you just show me how to do it? And I try.
We actually used to cook a lot together before kids.
Okay.
And I made a joke about this the other day, because he came and he was like, do you need me to do anything? And I was like, you know what? Why don't you chop this up for me? Well, whatever. And I'm like, you remember when we used to cook together? Because and then he'd laugh, because he was like, we used to cook together, but you don't remember when you used to tell me I'm slow? Because they used to be like, chop it up faster. Let's go. Come on.
You're like, get out of here.
Yeah, let me finish it. Yeah, that's how he and I were. But he's been very good about helping me just like have some time. And he'll be like, I'll tell him like, my sister, we want to go do something, and he'll be like, all right, just go, whatever. He wanted to. It's funny. There's a. Back to the music thing, there's an RBD concert. I don't know if you know who RBD is. It's from a novela. Yeah. And we wanted to go, but we couldn't find tickets. But he was all like, when is it? All right, I'll put it on my calendar. Go ahead, go. And he was like, go buy the tickets. Nice. And then we were supposed to go, but we couldn't. It was sold out. So, he's a big, supporter of me doing things that I want to go do. Because he gets to go out every day and, escape the kids for 8 hours. At a time.
It's crazy, because like, again, we're lucky we have that support from our partners. Get it? Because I've spoken to friends of mine where their partners aren't as supportive. Like, they're just like, oh, well, aren't you able to take a break during the day while one kid is in preschool, or whatever it is? And it's like, no, because I have to do the laundry, I have to clean the house, I have to do all this. There is no break. And I think it's so important, because even with us, and I think I mentioned that in another episode, it's not just about finding time to be a mother and do that part and do that role, but then also finding time for ourselves, but also finding time to have that partnership with your spouse, finding time to be the friend, the sister, the daughter, like checking in on your parents, checking in on all the people that you value and you care about in your life, because they deserve attention too.
Yeah.
And so how do we balance all that stuff out? And I think the only true way that we can do that is, I may not get back to you via text right away, or I'll think I text you. I'm like, oh shit, I could have sworn I responded to this message. Yeah. I'm so sorry. But I think it's having the right people around you that understand that, and understand that even though things have changed and I might not be readily available to you like right now, but I'm there and you can count on me one way or another. And I'm always going to be here to like support you, even if it's just to vent.
Yeah.
It might be. That makes me feel good. Like it's weird, because me doing things for other people, always, even before becoming a mom, I'm the gift giver. I love giving gifts. That's my like love language for like other people.
Yeah.
I don't like receiving gifts. I love giving gifts. And I'm the type of person that it's like, if you mention to me one time that you love, I don't know, Magnolia's banana pudding or something like that, and I'm like at Magnolia or something, I'm gonna get you
No, you
one.
got me hungry.
Even though even though you mentioned it like months ago, like it's just one of the things, oh, Amy would love this. Let me get this for Amy. Like those are the things that I do to feed myself, but it's also for other people.
And this is true, guys, because actually, I don't even know if you remember this, but for Christmas, you gave me a hat one year.
Did I? I remember you giving me a hat, and I loved it.
I have it still. I still have it.
I still have. You give me 2 hats, and I still have them, and I still wear them every winter because they're my favorite. I
have it still, and every time I like bring out the stuff for the winter, I'm like, Giselle gave me this, and it's funny. It's so funny. But yeah, you do like to give gifts. That is very true.
I love it. So, I think for today, right? Like the message is, your self-care and your balancing act is going to look different from another person. Yours is going to look different from mine. Mine's going to look different from yours. And that's the rule for everyone, right? Like, not necessarily a rule, but that's just the reality. And I think finding what works for you and your family, I think, is key to have it be a consistent thing. Because what might work for me, taking out 2-3 hours to do my hair, may not work for you. Me going to the gym for an hour and a half may not work for you, because that may not be a realistic expectation because you have nobody to.
Or you just don't like the gym, like I mean.
You don't like the gym, yeah. It's gonna seem like a chore,
it's finding
torture, like
finding something that you like to do that'll make you come back and kind of recollect yourself, kind of thing.
Recenter yourself.
Yes, reset yourself, recenter yourself. It's just finding the one thing that you want to do.
Yeah. Even if it's just sitting down, having a glass of wine, or I love sitting down and just enjoying my kombucha and watching. I watch a lot of comedic, like comics podcast. And that's like, Tom and I, like our evenings consist of that. That's how we spend time with each other. That's how we also regroup and decompress from the day. And that's, we just love laughing. Like New Year's. Did I talk to you during New Year's? No, New Year's. We got drunk and I don't drink. And we were just drinking because we had champagne like leftover from like the birthday party and like all this other stuff. And we were just watching stand-up comics from New Year's Eve to New Year's Day. And it was the best time. And it reminded us of how we were before the baby. And it was like, it was just a reminder of, and even when shit like this happens with the flooding in the apartment right now, it's like, we made the right decision. Like, this is my best friend. This is my partner. And you remind me of myself and who I am and who we are as a couple and why this works. And I think those moments are why I'm still like grounded and calm and able to handle it all. Yeah. But you take those moments too with Vic for like you, right? Like in your own way. It may not look the same, but
we end up watching movies with the kids.
There you go.
And he'll turn to me and he'll go, look what we're doing now on Saturday night. Like, remember when we used to watch movies by ourselves? Like today, actually, we have scheduled, we have to watch Wakanda Forever. And it's like, that's what we're going to do later with the kids. I'm going to set them up with their little popcorn and their snacks. And then we sit and we watch, hopefully, in one sitting. If not, we break it up into 2.
Yeah. But you do what works for you guys. And that's your thing.
Yeah.
So... But anyway, I hear the baby crying. I think I have to go now. So, but no, I think what's the final message is, make sure to make time
for yourself
one way or another, even if it's 5 minutes for yourself. Put on like your favorite song that's going to pump you up, that's going to like make you feel good. Put on whatever show it is and indulge in that. Like, just the laundry can wait.
Yeah.
The dishes can wait. Like, the baby's alive, fed, sleeping, having fun, playing, all that stuff. As long as that's taken care of, take that moment because you deserve it.
Yes.
Like, and you're doing not just yourself. What is it? Not disservice. No, you're doing yourself some good and your family some good by taking that moment. So take it and don't feel guilty over it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
I can hear my kids already screaming, saying, Mom,
all right.
Mario.
So thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in again. And we have to go tend to our kids
now. Unbelievable. It never stops. It never stops.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks
We'll
so
see
much
you
for
again next
listening.
week.
Bye.
Bye.